Title: The Elephant and the Ants. In the heart of an ancient forest, where tall trees touched the clouds and rivers sparkled like silver threads, lived a mighty elephant named Gajraj. His enormous ears flapped like giant fans, and his footsteps made the ground tremble. Every creature in the jungle feared him, not because he was evil, but because he had grown proud and careless. Gajraj believed that strength was everything. He believed that size made him superior. And because of this belief, he often ignored the feelings of smaller animals. He would push bushes aside without seeing the tiny creatures underneath. He would splash water in the river, drenching the monkeys. He would shake trees just to watch birds panic and fly away. But the ones who suffered the most were the ants. An entire ant colony lived near the riverbank. Day and night they worked, gathering food, building tunnels, protecting their queen, and caring for new ants. Their tiny world was full of discipline, unity, and teamwork. Yet Gajraj would walk right over their pathways, crush their tunnels, and laugh loudly when the ants scattered in fear. One day, he stomped his massive foot so close that the entrance to their anthill collapsed. The queen ants cried, "Why does he trouble us? We have done nothing wrong." The oldest ant, Adi, replied calmly, "He thinks we are small and powerless. He thinks size decides worth." Though they rebuilt their home again, pain and frustration filled their hearts. The storm that changed everything. Seasons changed, and soon dark clouds rolled across the sky. The winds grew wild, lightning cracked, and rain poured heavily for hours. Trees bent, rivers swelled, and the soil softened into thick mud. By the next morning, the entire forest smelled of wet earth. Gajraj, feeling thirsty, headed toward the river. But the ground near the water had become dangerously slippery. Before he realized it, splash, thud! Gajraj slipped and fell into a deep, water-filled pit created by the rain. His heavy body sunk into the mud. He tried lifting himself. He tried climbing, but every attempt made him sink deeper. He trumpeted desperately, "Help! Help! Someone please help me!" Birds heard him, but flew away in fear. Deer heard him, but could not get close. Monkeys watched from the trees, but knew they were too weak to pull him out. Even the strong buffaloes looked at the pit helplessly. Gajraj, who once believed he was the strongest in the forest, now felt completely powerless. The tiny saviors. Down inside their anthill, the ants heard the elephant's desperate cries. The queen ant looked at Adi. "He hurt us so many times. Should we help him?" Adi nodded. "Yes, we help, not because he deserves it, but because kindness is our strength." And so the ants marched, hundreds, then thousands, then tens of thousands. A dark, moving carpet of tiny legs and tiny hearts approached the pit. When they saw Gajraj trapped, they understood the situation instantly. Adi raised his antenna and commanded, "We will create steps, dig through the mud, and make the slope strong enough for him to climb." The ants spread out across the walls of the pit. Some dug holes, some carried away small bits of soil. Some created lines of tiny tunnels that allowed water to drain out. Some formed a rough surface so the elephant's feet wouldn't slip. For hours and hours, they worked tirelessly. Gajraj watched in disbelief. How can creatures so small show such big hearts? He wondered. Slowly, the muddy slopes became firmer and rougher. Adi called out, "Gajraj, try climbing now." With great effort, the elephant lifted one massive foot and placed it on the first step. It held. He lifted the next foot, then another. Slowly, painfully, he climbed up the slope that the ants had built. And finally, he emerged from the pit, exhausted but free. A new beginning. Gajraj lowered his head to the ants. "I am truly ashamed," he said softly. "I thought being big made me powerful, but today you tiny creatures saved my life. I will never forget your kindness." Adi replied, "Strength is not in size. It is in unity, compassion, and respect." From that day onward, Gajraj changed completely. He walked carefully, watching where he stepped. He protected the ants' paths. He warned others not to disturb them. He helped smaller animals cross rivers or move branches. He became gentle, humble, and respected. The ants, who once feared him, now considered him their friend. The forest became peaceful again because one proud heart had learned the value of kindness. Moral of the story: 1. Never underestimate anyone based on their size. 2. Strength without kindness is meaningless. 3. Unity and teamwork can achieve what power alone cannot. 4. Even the smallest beings can make the biggest difference.